Hey folks, welcome to Homegrown Radio. Tonight's musical guests are the Dynamic-Therm-O-Tones. We're streaming here live from Locals Tavern, and take it away, guys.
Call it Stormy Monday, but you know Tuesday's just as bad. Well, they call it Stormy Monday, and you know Tuesday's just as bad. Wednesday's nothing special, and you know Thursday's oh so sad. Oh, the eagle flies on Friday, and you know Saturday I'll go out to play. The eagle flies on Friday, baby, and you know Saturday I'll go out to play. And every Sunday morning I go to church, I fall down on my knees and I pray, and I pray, yes I pray. Play the blues, Paul. evil when I'm with you, baby. Yes, you're so jealous when we're apart. You're so evil when I'm with you, baby. Yes, you're so jealous when we're apart. You know, you ask me if I'm blue, woman. You know the answer's right here in this man's heart. Let me tell you a little story. I bought you a brand new Ford. You said, I want a Cadillac. I brought you out to dinner, baby. You said, Mario, thanks for the snack. I let you live in my penthouse. You called it a country shack. I gave you 7 children, baby. I want every one of them back. I've been so downhearted, baby, ever since the day that we met. You asked me if I was blue, woman. Let me tell you how blue a man can get. You're so evil when I'm with you, baby. You know you're so jealous when we're apart. You're so evil when I'm with you, baby. Oh, you're so jealous when we're apart. You ask me if I'm blue, woman. The answer's right here in my heart. All right. Don't touch my mic again. Okay.
We're having a mic issue here. Sorry. I'm gonna step over this way, so that way I can talk to y'all. So welcome to Locals Tavern. Thank you so much for coming in. So last minute, you guys are great. Dynamic-Therm-O-Tones. Where'd we get that name?
Well, the band has been in existence now since 2000.
By the way, this is KB Brown.
Since 2003, and we decided that dynamics was a very big part of music. You have to have dynamics in order to make the music effective. So we made it part of our name so we wouldn't forget it. Also, you had to have good tone. So warm is thermo. So we got good dynamics and good warm tones.
So a lot of thought went into the name of this band.
That's where it came from. we've been playing blues around for quite a while. We also won the Blues Challenge. We went to Memphis and we competed there. We came in 11 out of 167 bands from all over the world, from Africa and all over the place. So we did real well there. And since then, the band has done a lot around town, but we do a lot of festivals, spot festivals, early gardens, downtown on Friday. This the type venues that we normally play at. We do a lot of weddings and private bookings and that type thing. So the band has actually evolved, and we probably need to change the name of it to Evolution. But the band has evolved from all blues to a mixture of music, and members have come and gone, and each time there was a change, it always seemed to be better. And I'm very proud that at this particular time, I'm playing with what I consider to be the best people in Wilmington to play with. That's Mr. Mario on guitar and Mr. Paul over there on sax. So I think with the chemistry that we have and the experience with these men, that we can definitely change some of the things that we've been.
That's really cool, KB. What's your background?
Basically blues. During high school, I played valve instruments, trumpet, and this type thing. Went to governor's school 2 years, for 2 sessions. Picked up the bass, and I started trying to play bass. And this has been my passion ever since. I was president of the Blues Society here locally in Wilmington for, I think, 13 years, I think. I finally resigned because I felt like music, you have to let it breathe, and you have to bring in new and young ideas. So I resigned so that the Blues Festival and the Blues Cruise and all could evolve into something bigger and better than it was, bring in new ideas.
That's wonderful. That's actually quite big of you to realize that when it's time to move along, because that some people don't do that real well. I know Mario would not have quit, is what we're finding out. So Mario Paparozzi, what's your music background?
Well, I don't know. I've been playing for a long time. I'm getting old, so I think I've been playing about 40 years. And I played in high school right through college and all. And I lived in the New York, New Jersey area, so we got to play with a lot of neat people. We played with people like B.B. King and Dr. John and Sly and the Family Stone and Deodato and Bruce Springsteen.
Tell us a story.
A story.
Tell us a story.
Well,
can you tell us a story about one of these guys?
Well, when we played with Sly and the Family Stone, it was right after Woodstock, you know, the peace and love era from the hippies. And we saw Sly in the back with his roadies beating people up.
I thought he was all about the peace.
And that's what I thought. I said, this is peace and love. And people were trying to get backstage, and they were upset, and they were starting fighting. And anyway, it was a big mess, and it really blew my mind because I said, you know, this is not the hippie era anymore.
No, it's not.
B.B. King, though, was a real gentleman, by the way. And I was a young guy when we played with him. And about a month after we played with him, I was down in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I stopped in a men's room off the Parkway. And who was in there but B.B. King? Nice. And nobody recognized him. And I was standing there going to the bathroom, and I said, Mr. King! And he said, how'd you know my name? I said, well, I just played with you. And I reminded him, and he let me play Lucille, actually.
Nice.
That day, yeah. So that was nice. And but we had a lot of good stories, a lot of good times. And, you know, music's been a great passion of mine. And I'm hoping now that in the years ahead, whatever I've got left on the planet, I'll play more music and do less of the kinds of things that I've been doing over the years to kind of keep stable financially and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
How about you, Paul? Let me come over here, a step over here to the back, and we can talk to Paul Lewis here.
I started playing saxophone when I was like 5. Because my parents were musicians on the weekend. My dad was a saxophone player.
What kind of music did you listen to?
Mostly big band, swing era stuff, a lot of jump, Louis Prima era.
Nice.
That kind of stuff. And then went off to college and didn't play for a long time. And when
So what brought you back?
my children started to play, so I started to pick up their instruments and decided that it was a fun thing to do. So I've been doing that ever since.
That's wonderful.
Mostly in north of Boston.
Really? So how'd you wind up here in Wilmington?
I came to work for GE recently. So
What about the rest of you guys? Let's hear. Tell us about it.
well, I play in a couple of big bands here in Wilmington, the Brunswick Big Band and the Artistry and Jazz, as well as the Harbortown Fest Band.
That's quite impressive. Now we want to know the range of instruments that you play. Actually, I'm curious to know the range of instruments you all play.
See, Saturday I'm playing tuba with the Harbortown Fest Band.
Tuba. There's, I get.
Really? It's about Big Mike saw a couple of one-heads in the paper today for tuba players.
Tuba players are in high demand here in Wilmington. I bet y'all didn't know that.
Play clarinet with them. And I have my flute here tonight.
Are you going to play your flute for us?
Maybe.
Maybe? Perhaps? Do you think maybe your next tune could include the flute? Maybe? I don't know. We're not getting very good vibe here on the flute right now. So, would you guys mind playing another tune for us? That would be great. We'd love that. I'm going to give you back your mic.
Right in the right spot.
I will.
Okay, there you go. Let's do that one D again. Now, like that we did before, D and A and F sharp and all multi-thread. D, go into the But we weren't on the TV. We weren't on television. We were made for the winter, so much younger than the sun. Then our body was as one as we're sailing to the misty. Hark now, hear the sailors cry. Smell the sea, see the sky. Let your soul and spirit fly as we're sailing to the misty. Why don't you let your foghorn whistle blow? Lord, I'll be coming home. Lord, why don't you let that foghorn whistle blow? I got a feeling, just got a feeling. I said, I wanna rock your gypsy soul, yeah. Just like the days of old. And together, you know, we're gonna go very old as we sailed into the misty. Play it a little bit for me, Paul. Why don't you let that foghorn whistle blow? I'll be coming home, yeah. Lord, why don't you let the foghorn whistle blow? I got a feeling. Gypsy soul, yeah. Just like the days of old. know, Lord, together we're going very old as we sail into the misty. Let me play it one. Why don't you let that foghorn whistle blow? I'll be coming home, yeah. Why don't you let the foghorn whistle blow? I got to feel it, just gotta feel it. I said, I wanna rock that gypsy soul, yeah. Just like the days of old. Oh, you know, together we're not very old. Right there into the misty. You know, Lord, I said together we're not very old. Right there into the misty. Oh, we're gonna grow old. Right there into the misty. Got a song by Keb Mo for you. Well, my friends have been telling you I'm out of my mind, acting awful wild and weird, dancing, screaming, bouncing off the wall, hanging from a chandelier, dancing in a neon jungle, chasing every woman in town. You turn a man into a monkey, and the monkey's gonna monkey around. Up out at the zoo. She's got a ring in her nose, a dimple in her toe, and a fairy face tattoo. Well, I've been out on the high wire. I'm never gonna put you down. You turn a man into a monkey, and a monkey's gonna monkey around. Train, waiting for some small time love. I was jumping through hoops, doing loop-de-loop. Girl, I finally had enough. Well, if you see me out dancing in my little red hat, going 8 balls in town, you turn a man into a monkey, and a monkey's gonna monkey around. Go ahead, Mr. Paul. for some small-time love. I was jumping through hoops, doing loop-de-loops. Girl, I finally had enough. Well, if you see me out dancing in my little red hat, I'm going ape all over town. You turn a man into a monkey, the monkey's gonna monkey around. You turn a man into a monkey, the monkey's gonna monkey around. You turn a man into a monkey, the monkey's gonna monkey around. Mustang Sally, I guess you better slow that Mustang down. Mustang Sally, I guess you better slow that Mustang down. You've been running all over town. Good God, you better put the big flat feet on the ground. I bought you a brand new Mustang, a 1965. Now you're going around certified woman, won't ever let me ride a Mustang Sally. I guess you better slow that Mustang down. Well, you've been running all over town. Woo! You gotta put those big flat feet on the ground. How about it, Paul? Blow it one time. A long time ago, Lord, I should have quit you, girl. I'm gone to Mexico. I should have been that little darling down on the killing floor. I should have listened to my second mind. Oh, I should have listened, babe, to my second mind. Yes, I should have been that little darling down on the killing floor. Go ahead, Paul. You a brand new Mustang, a 1965. Now you're going around, certified woman, won't ever let me ride. Mustang Sally, I guess you better slow that Mustang down. Where you been running all over town? Woo! You gotta put your big flat feet on the ground.
I'm going to borrow this one now.
Say thank you, thank you.
That way you can have your own. So where's your next gig, guys, at this point?
At this point, we really don't have one. Oddly enough, we've only had 2 practices.
You've only had 2 practices.
So we're in fact, we haven't even incorporated our drummer yet because we want to get tight before we bring our drummer in. So we've only had a couple of practices, but I'm thinking somewhere around November we should be out.
Cool. That's right on. So do you guys all have day jobs too, or is this what you do for a living?
Oh, no. I own a...
Paul finds this extremely humorous.
You
This
can't
question
do
is
music
making
for a
him
living.
laugh.
That's why he's laughing. If we did this for a living, we'd be all be starving.
You will starve to death trying to do music. No, I own a business. I own Cool Times Heating and Air Conditioning Company. Mario's a professor, and Paul is a nuclear reactor designer.
Wow. Paul, what do you do?
I work at GE. What do you do? I work in the nuclear department.
In the nuclear department, folks. Wow. Now you've heard it all now. So let me ask you something, Mario. How would you, if a young musician came up to you and asked you about this business, what kind of advice would you give them?
Look, I love music, and I know some great musicians. This is what I tell them. I tell the truth. I tell them, do you like to eat? Do you like to go on vacation? You know? But in all seriousness, I mean, I tell them that it's a real long shot, and if you don't have any backup or behind you, you could, better than 9 out of 10 times, end up in a pretty rough situation financially.
Right.
And so I know my brother, by the way, and I'm going to brag a little bit, is probably one of the best harmonica players in the country. He just toured with the Blues Brothers. He plays with Stevie Wonder and a bunch of other people.
Wow.
And my nephew wanted to be a full-time musician. I said, you know Uncle Robert, right? What do you think of him? He's played all over on Broadway, and he always had a day job, by the way. He was a probation officer. And I said, do you think he's great? He said, absolutely. He's the best in the world. I said, and even he didn't quit his job.
That says a lot right
Well,
there.
that's the truth.
That says a lot right there, doesn't it? That pretty much puts it in a
Even he didn't
nutshell
quit
for
his
you.
job. But, if I thought that music was the kind of thing where you could make a decent amount of money steadily, not a ton, a long time ago, I would have done it.
Right.
However, it's just, I know so many great players that are not making money, and so many very bad players, and don't ask me to name any, very famous,
I won't ask you.
very famous bad players that are making a ton of money. So it's
So you think it's
unpredictable.
so you think it's a marketing thing more than anything else?
Well, it absolutely is a marketing thing, and in my opinion, sure.
In your opinion?
Yeah. I mean, guys, well, I mean, and the audience isn't that very discriminating. No offense to any audience, but when people tell me that, who's your favorite artist, for example?
I have many.
Like for example,
All right, the Beatles.
the Beatles are. Well,
There you
and,
go.
And they're in a
just-
class by themselves. And when somebody
They
says
are.
to me that they like, I don't know, name somebody else, where does that put the Beatles? I mean, the Beatles and Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
unbelievable.
They are.
And,
They are.
And there are all kinds of other people who are way down the list, and they're making just as much.
What
money.
about like someone like Dave Matthews, for example?
Well, he's very good though, but
Right.
but he's not as creative as the Beatles or those kinds.
Right.
Of guys. By the way, I have a good story for you.
Oh, let's hear it.
I was in Italy this summer, and I was riding on a train, and a guy sat next to me from Liverpool. This was really cool, and he was about my age, and we got talking about the Beatles because he was from Liverpool. And I said, what do you think about what happened to Pete Best? Do you know who Pete Best is?
Yeah.
Pete
Oh,
Best
yeah,
was
we
the
know.
first drummer, right?
That's
for the
right.
Beatles. He said, well, Pete Best is still playing around Liverpool, with gigs and bars and all that stuff. And I have a picture of Pete Best that I bought at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the Beatles and the Pete Best. And I told the guy from Liverpool, I said, can you imagine being Pete Best, getting up every morning thinking, holy shit, excuse me, what did I do? I'm not in the Beatles. It's got to be terrible. It's got to be the curse of all curses. I could have been in the Beatles.
I could have been a Beatle.
And I'm playing bar gigs around Liverpool.
Oh man,
I think that's an unbelievable
that
story.
is too much.
It always amazes me because I go to bed at night thinking, when Pete Best puts his head on the pillow and he's looking up at the ceiling and wherever he lives, I'm thinking, he thinks, my God,
What did I do?
what might have been?
What could have been? Indeed. I guess it just wasn't. It wasn't his path.
No, it really wasn't.
Apparently not.
No.
Sucks to be him.
It's terrible.
Yes, it is.
It's terrible.
It is
I'm telling you.
terrible. It is. So you guys have all. Could you pretty much play with anybody? All of you, like, could you just pretty much like jump into any situation musically?
If you have to sound good, probably not. But I have no shame, so I'll do it.
What about you?
I have a bad habit of not being afraid, which means I have been called to do gigs an hour before the gig, and not know who I'm gonna play with or what they're going to play. As long as there's some sheet music around, I can make it through. If they'll give me a general structure of the song, I can usually make it through. It's not a good idea, but sometimes you get caught in that situation, and as a musician, and you have so many friends out there, there are times that you have to pull them out of a jam, and they pull you out of a jam.
Right.
So it's a give and take situation. But most of the guys around here that play consistently, they can really play with anybody. Music is a universal language, and it passes all lines, sex, gender, race, religious. It crosses all lines, and a musician can play with a person from China that cannot even speak English. If you can read music, you can start off and play a song, maybe not flawlessly, but well enough that people know what the song is. So music is a universal language, and I suggest that anyone that has a chance to learn any kind of music form, do it. It has been a comfort for me when I get disgusted or despaired or whatever. I usually play. I also play at church. very regularly. So that's my way of giving back what God has given me.
So have you had formal training then, as far as, you can read music and such?
I had formal training in my younger days, and when I got out of school, I wanted to play in a rock and roll band. I played trumpet and all the valve instruments, and they wanted me to play da 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 da. And I said, "That's great. What's the notes?" I played in the orchestra. I played in the jazz band, but everything was written out, so I read very fluently. But I couldn't hear music. Right. So when I picked up the bass, I refused to take any lessons at all. It's a matter of hearing, and once I learned where the notes were, then I went back and I actually learned the neck of the bass to make myself a little bit more fluent in what I'm doing. But music is something you really have to feel. I mean.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And I agree with you. I believe that music is the great unifier. There are so many things that divide us, but there's just something that happens when we all get together and everybody listens to a song that they all know. Everything else just falls away, and there's a lot of joyfulness around that, and I completely agree with you. What about the rest of you? Have you been trained formally?
I train myself. I study every day, actually. I play about 3 or 4 hours a day.
That's great.
And I practice reading music and tunes and whatever. I'm trying to, I've been doing that for years. And I was listening to KB, and, I don't know what I would have done with all my time if it wasn't. I spend almost every waking hour, when I have a minute, my guitar is my best friend. And when I ride with it in the car, in the front seat, sometimes I put my hand on it. I do. And
it's faithful. It won't leave you.
It never pulls away. And I think about all the things we've been through, with that, like that
right.
guitar, all the things I've been through with it, and it's a very personal experience. Actually.
No doubt.
And often, and especially if I get a new guitar that I really like, I'll bring it to bed with me. And I'll put it next to me, and I'll just sleep with my hand on it, kind of a thing.
I've actually heard of other people doing that, too.
I like that. I mean,
yeah.
It's a very personal thing. It's a lovely pastime. And as I said, it keeps you out of trouble.
How about you, Paul?
My mother taught me about music and chords and a little about the piano when I was young. And then I didn't have any really formal lessons till I was in my 40s. But I was lucky enough to have lessons from a man who had played lead alto for Glenn Miller. Nice. So that was very good. He taught me a great deal.
Well, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate your being here this evening.
Thank you.
And would love for you to close out the show with one more tune.
Sure.
And I'd like to remind everyone that this Friday night we're going to have Massive Grass playing, and yours truly is going to be bartending. Show starts at 9 o'clock. Saturday night, the 21st, we're going to have Jam Sandwich. They start at 9.
Oh,
and
Mike
yeah,
Barrasso.
yeah.
Mike Barrasso is their bass
He's
player.
great.
He's a
He's
great guy.
Really
Yes, he
nice
is.
guy. Really nice, and a great player as well.
And one of their guitar players just opened up a neat little second
Eddie,
hand
yeah.
guitar store.
That's right.
Called Guitar Picker.
Guitar Pickers.
I stopped in there
Yay,
recently.
Eddie.
Yeah. Well, good. Tell Mike Mario said hello when you see
I
him.
will. Actually,
Mike's
you can
also-
tell him yourself.
Well, Michael. Hello, Michael. Sorry about that. Michael's from the town where I grew up in Irvington, New Jersey.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, so I'm going to let you guys do your thing. I'm going to step out of the way. Hopefully we'll see you guys here at Locals this weekend. Dynamic-Therm-O-Tones.
Yeah, you want to do it? You mind? believe the things that I do for you. What you won't do, I do for love. I tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do. You people go around the world for love, but they may never find what they dream of. Some people go around the world for love, but they may never find what they dream of. What you won't do, do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do. Go ahead, Mr. Paul. What you won't do, do for love. You tried everything and it's never enough. In my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do. Make me do for love what I would not do. Make me do for love what I would not do. You're very kind. Thank you. Mr. Paul, Mr. KB, and my name is Mario, and we'll see you around sometime. Thank you for letting us be on your online